Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to make mac and cheese with broccoli and chicken. It is really good. I want you to try it. I've got the recipe for you. Let's get started. All right, here we go with the recipe now. We've got some noodles. You can use whatever pasta that you like, doesn't matter. Got about a tablespoon of chicken broth powder there. We've got some broccoli. I've got one chicken breast. You can use breasts or thighs or whatever. I've got cheddar cheese. You can use whatever cheddar cheese you like. Gruyere and cheddar, whatever mixture. Here's some onion powder, some garlic powder. I would suggest that you use the mac and cheese recipe that you're used to or follow the directions, but I'm going to give you another recipe here as well. And that's what we're doing right now. While we've got the heat on, trying to get that up to a boil, we've got about a tablespoon of chicken broth powder. You can use bouillon cubes, powder, whatever. I'm going to also put in a little bit, a few drops of olive oil, and I'm going to pick it up with a little bit of pepper just to help that flavor. That's always good. Pepper's always good. Put a lid on that, let that come to a boil. Then I'm going to take the chicken. I've got a chicken breast here. I'm going to put that in this boiling water. We're going to cook that for 20 or 30 minutes. You want to have it's well done where it'll shred easily. Also, you don't have to boil it. This is just one method. You could cook the chicken, fry the chicken, brown the chicken, everything, get those flavors as well. It is entirely up to you. After it's done, I'm going to take the chicken out and I'm going to put the broccoli in a strainer and set that on top of the boiling water and put the lid on that because you're going to need to steam the broccoli. We're going to cut it up afterwards. Then after that, we've also shredded up our cheese, got that taken care of. Now take your pasta. You can use whatever pasta you like. It doesn't have to be this particular kind. Put that in there. Cook that al dente, which means not quite done because you're going to bake this mac and cheese, broccoli, chicken recipe. And so you don't want it completely done. I'm going to throw some, we're going to make a roux right now. So I have heated a pan, put about a half a stick of butter. I put some mustard powder in there. That's optional. That's pretty typical with mac and cheese. And about a third of a cup of all-purpose flour. I'm going to stir that up, kind of making a roux. And this is going to thicken up. And then we're going to add our cheese. But before we add the cheese, we're going to put maybe a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic powder. That helps the flavor as well. Let me remind you, this is just one recipe of cooking mac and cheese. Cook it however you like, whatever recipes you're used to, it doesn't matter. But this is just a suggestion. Stir that up. And the cheese will be coming in after we pour in some milk. Of course, we don't want to forget the milk. Sometimes I use evaporated milk. That is really good in mac and cheese. So I'm using milk and I'm putting that in there till I get the right consistency. You want to get that heat up to a medium and let that thicken up. Adding some salt here comes the pepper. Now I'm going to add some parsley. I'm going to put maybe 1 tablespoon of parsley. That also kicks up the flavor. It also looks nice. And stir that up for just a few seconds, 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, doesn't matter. Then add your cheese. We're going to have different cheese. I've got mild cheddar here and some Monterey Jack. You can use Gruyere and cheddar, whatever mixture and cheese you like. Try not to use the already shredded that you buy in the store because that's got chemicals. It doesn't melt very well. And I always try to avoid all of that. I'd rather shred my own lettuce and not have those chemicals in there. Stir that up, let that melt on a low to medium heat. You don't want it too hot. Stir that up for a few seconds. Then we're going to add, of course, some milk, more milk. You're going to have the right consistency for the cheese sauce. Take your pasta, make sure that it is drained well. It's cooked al dente, as I said. Add some salt in that water when you start out, actually. Otherwise, the pasta will taste flat. You need to have just a little bit of salt in there. And when you drain the pasta, make sure you drain it well. You don't want to have water on it when you're mixing it into the mac and cheese. Here I've got the chicken all shredded. I have the broccoli all cut up. And now I have drained the pasta. We're going to take a pan, put the pasta in the pan, excuse me, and then we're going to add the cream sauce or cheese sauce with the pasta. Mix that in together. And now go ahead and put your cut broccoli into the mac and cheese. Mix that in together. Then you're going to take your chicken, your shredded chicken, and mix that in as well. Chicken will give you nice protein, and the broccoli is nice and healthy. There you go. Mix that in. And it is looking really good. I'm going to add a little more cheese here, cheese sauce. Mix that in again. And we're almost ready to plate this. But before we do that, we're going to get it ready for baking. We got to bake it up first. So put this into a baking dish and start adding your cheese, a little bit of cheese on the top, that's so it will melt and give it a nice flavor and a nice look. You are going to add, if you want, black olives. That's optional. You know me, I like black olives. I've also put just a sprinkling of panko on. Put the lid on. Have your oven up to 350 degrees. I actually think I would put it up to maybe 375 because you're going to cook it for 30 minutes. I found that after 30 minutes it needed more cooking. So for 30 minutes at 375, put that in with the lid on. The last 10 minutes, take that lid off, and here you go. Plate your food, and it is looking delicious, and it tastes good. You're going to like it.